act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The start of the NFL season is here, and the best place to practice your touchdown dance is on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel is kicking off Week 1 with a no-sweat bet for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a new customer or already have an account. You'll get free bets back. If you don't win, just log in and see for yourself. New to FanDuel Sportsbook. Just sign up using promo code WNSR to get started. That's promo code WNSR. Either way, celebrate the return of football season with a no-sweat bet during Week 1. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You got to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
Hello, hi, attention everyone.
This is going to be a great show.
And it's the choice of a new generation.
Welcome in to Run With It. Your home for all things sports. Headlines, stories, and scoops. Get in now. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. And now, here's your hosts of Run With It, General Patton Cook and Ray Dosky.
This is Run With It on Nashville Sports Radio. Ray Dosky, Devlin McKenzie, Patton Cook here, live from the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center Studios. We are live here. If you want to call us up on today's show, give you some fantasy help, NFL talk, anything and everything today on that Cure hotline, 615-844-5600. Ray Dosky, it is officially NFL Sunday. NFL is back. We are only an hour away. This is your pretty much official NFL preview show before the NFL season all year long. It's going to be from 11 to 12. So any advice you need on your fantasy lineups, call us up, man. All season long, we'll be here from 11 to 12.
Absolutely. To say that I'm hyped is an understatement because I come into the studio and who would I see? Devlin, who's got this big smile from ear to ear.
Yes.
Like, cannot wait for the season start. We're talking about fantasy lineups. We're talking about the guests who we have, by the way, Bernard Pollard, former NFL safety, who'll be joining the show here in about a couple of minutes to talk about, week 1. We're going to circle the wagon, if you will. But I just took Devlin's energy and I just kind of zoned in. I'm like, I'm ready.
Well, Devlin was telling us off air. He was here at 5 o'clock this morning. And he could not wait to do the show.
I think he slept on the couch. I think he stayed the night.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 9 years old before Christmas when you just can't sleep when you're that excited. Oh, it's 100% like that.
That is the energy we need today.
Pure joy.
So do you think Thursday night is the kickoff season, or is it really like Sunday when the season really kicks off for you guys? Because, you hear like the whole, you saw the little thing on NFL with like Roger Goodell coming in before the Rams and the Rams-Bills game, and he's psyched up. Thursday night's kind of cool. It's a great game, but I feel like Sunday's what really kicks things off.
Thursday's the appetizer.
Yeah.
You kind of wet the palate a little bit, and then Sunday you're just overloaded. You're stuffed by the end of the day, but then again, come next Sunday, you're ready for more.
First full weekend of football. From high school football, we were here Friday night for the Mid-State Checkdown post-game show, and then yesterday was a ton of college football. Ton of upsets. I was talking to Devlin about that. I just don't know what college football is. Just a different breed. It's just crazy. And then we have NFL today and tomorrow.
And you can get all of it here on Nashville Sports Radio. We got our Mid-State Checkdown Game of the Week, your scoreboard show after WKU football on Saturdays, and of course on Sunday you got us here from 11 to 12. So I mean, what more could you want?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked about this. We got, like I told you, we have a ton of guests coming in today. I've got some young guys coming on to talk some Nashville SC and some stuff as well, some Titans fans as well. Later in the show, I'll have One of our other sponsors will be joining in later. She actually is a big, huge Titans fan, to kind of see what her thoughts are about this Titans season, because much like you, Patton, huge Titans fan, a lot of question marks, don't know what to expect out of this team. Hopefully they'll be answered here this season.
Yeah, I think we might need to negotiate with the Johnson family.
Yeah.
We might need more than an hour today. A lot to discuss today, but you mentioned Titans Giants. That's kicking off at 3:25 today, so still a little more hours after the noon kickoff games for Titans fans out there. Weather-wise, looking better by the minute. Hopefully, not a huge rain monsoon coming, but really just looking forward to all the
nothing
games
near what the Bears and Niners are dealing with up there, right?
There was a video going around on Twitter.
There's a flood on
Just an absolute monsoon. The field is bad anyway, rain or dry, but right now a lot of rain going around in the NFL market. But Ray, it looks like we've got our first guest. Why don't you introduce?
Absolutely, yeah. Like we mentioned earlier in this show, we've got Bernard Pollard, former Titan, former Chief, former Texan, former NFL safety, joining the show to kind of talk about, week one. We're going to kind of preview some matchups, get his thoughts about stuff, what's going on there. And so, without further ado, let's bring on Bernard. Bernard, what's up, buddy?
Man, how y'all doing?
Man, we are good, man. It's week one in the NFL. Things couldn't be any happier.
Yep.
Hey, I think everybody's excited about that. Get some football back.
Absolutely. So, Bernard, I'm going to ask you one question. It's week one. You being a former player in the NFL, take me back to that locker room. What does it feel like week one? When does the jitters really hit? Does it really hit in the locker room, the morning of, when you get on the field? Tell me what that locker room feels like going into these games today.
I think today a lot of guys are I think they're excited because, obviously training camp is over. Getting through that season of cuts where, some guys were on they were on the bubble and now they're on the team or on the practice squad. I think for a lot of guys that are, that have been playing there for a while, they're just ready for bullets to be live. A lot of guys they don't like going out there hitting for no reason, scoring touchdowns for no reason. They don't count. They can't put them a part of their career stats. So I think today is just, a big relief of we get to go play somebody in front of a sold out, crowd, and it counts for something. So I think that's just a lot of fun for a lot of players. They're excited about it. The coaches get to open up the playbook and actually go out there with your first 15. Defensively, you get to, what you trained and practiced for all year long, all off season long. Now you get a chance to scheme up your defense to play against the offense. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Bernard Patton here, excited to have you on today and hopefully a couple more times throughout the season. I wanted to ask you a question along those same lines. As someone who's retired from the NFL, I know us fans, we're always so jacked up for the seasons to start. We can't wait. As someone who's kind of retired for the game, and you love it, I'm sure, do you have that same sort of feeling? Are you counting down the days, or you just kind of, it hits?
I mean, for me, I'm not counting down the days. I think, playing in this league, it was truly a blessing, and I thank God every day that I got an opportunity to be able to do this. But when it's here, I mean, it's here, and this is what it is. So I get a chance to watch it, to sit back, and for me, more or less, I'm watching and yelling because I kind of know what's happening,
sure.
And I watch football differently than most. I don't see the same thing you see, or what the general population will see. It's just more or less for me. I just want to see good football, and I'm going to talk about both sides. And people think I'm supposed to have this allegiance to a team that I play for, and it's just like, no, I just want to see good football. And it's always good to see when you can turn on the TV and you see something that you played as a career, and you get to watch them boys go at it, and it's just a lot of fun.
Bernard, you had mentioned the fact that teams you were going to watch teams of your allegiance to. Let's talk about one of the games. One player that has been on talk on all NFL, ESPN this morning, which is Lamar Jackson with your former Baltimore Ravens. Talk to me. Why do you feel like Lamar is not signed? I mean, when you think about, you see a guy who's an MVP winner, has done so much for this organization. I mean, why does he continuously need to prove himself to this organization?
Well, I think it's unfortunate, but I think, right now a lot of people get to see the business side of it. This is straight up a business decision. I mean, they've offered him a lot of money, and I tell young quarterbacks, guys, where I'm training, I'm like, if you play the quarterback position, you got an opportunity to make over $100 million. Just throw a football and think right. You're going to be okay. And I look at this situation, and Lamar is a dynamic player. I think, a lot of people have misunderstood the things that I've said about him. I acknowledge what he's really freaking good at, and he's really good at going out there and being electric. But I think, and let me rewind. He's won a lot of games for the Baltimore Ravens. He's done a lot for this football team, and he deserves it. He's an MVP winner. He's exciting. But I think when you look at the details of what he's doing at the quarterback position, he lacks. And a lot of people look at me and they're like, they want to stone me for that. But he lacks. He lacks in awareness of what the defense is doing, reading the defense, making checks. And you can see that with the offensive play calling. And you can see that. And a lot of people say, well, Greg Roman needs to be fired. Well, I've seen Greg Roman in a spread offense. I've seen Greg Roman go and jig rig offenses for his offensive players. And he can run all of that stuff. But I think with the Baltimore Ravens, there's a crutch there because of Lamar is limited at what he can do offensively. And I think they're willing to pay him, but at the end of the day, they're not willing to pay him or willing to invest at the quarterback position because potentially how he plays, his style of play can, land him on the sideline. And I mean, when we look at Lamar, we all say Lamar is fun to watch. He's dynamic and because he can run. Well, when we look at the quarterback position, that's not what we're looking at. And a lot of people say, well, today's football is different. And, yeah, we can. But when you show me a quarterback that have won a Super Bowl that can consistently, put his team in the hunt, to potentially win a Super Bowl, that quarterback position doesn't look like that. So when we say this is what it looks like, no, it's not. We got to be careful with that. So I think that's what it comes down to. They offer him a lot of money, but it's not the money he thinks he should be getting. And this is the business side. So it's a 50-50 thing. The business got to do something because he's done a lot of great things for the Baltimore Ravens offense or organization. But then at the same time, Lamar has got to grow because I think if Lamar was a pass-first guy with athletic abilities, I think Lamar is looking at a contract like Patrick Mahomes. And I'm being honest with you.
Bernardo, along those same lines on Lamar Jackson, the Ravens did kind of a similar thing with a quarterback. Of course, Joe Flacco bet on himself. He went on that fantastic Super Bowl run, wins the Super Bowl, and he pretty much got a blank check. If Lamar were to do the same thing this season, go on, win a Super Bowl, how big would that check have to be for the Ravens to secure a guy like Lamar Jackson?
Well, I think we're talking about something like a Patrick Mahomes contract. I don't think it'll be years-wise as big. I think Lamar, if he can do it. Now, I'm just going to talk to you as a former player, a guy who's seen this and understands it. That style of play is not sustainable. And a lot of people say, well, yes, it is. He can do this. He's only 25. Well, at the end of the day, y'all been saying that since he was 22. Everybody say he's young. He can adapt. Well, no. We as players, we go back to what we are good at. Lamar is athletic. You cannot take his athleticism away from him. So that's his instinct. His instinct is to run. So when you take that away, now all of a sudden he's got to throw first. Now, as we got later in the season, or we look at the playoffs, where he's got to do that first because people have taken away the run ability. That's when we're seeing that lack of being able to get his team over the hump and get them to the Super Bowl. Yes, Joe Flacco bet on himself. Joe Flacco balled out. He did some awesome things. But once again, Joe Flacco was a pass-first guy. He was able to make checks. He was able to make throws. Joe Flacco could make every throw in at the National Football League level. Lamar Jackson can't. Are they the same animal? No, they're not. But at the end of the day, when we look at the business side, that's what they're looking at. Can this guy get us to the promised land? And if he can, we're willing to invest the type of money he's asking for. But we have some hesitation in there because if this guy takes off a run out of the pocket because he's evading people, now all of a sudden he put himself at risk. And now that investment that we made in him, we ain't seeing no return in that. And that's what makes it hard.
Bernard, you had mentioned that by betting on yourself, getting new contracts, there's a couple of quarterbacks that got new contracts this year. Kyler Murray. Next year, if you look at Lamar Jackson, he's got he'll be going into that quarterback contract discussions with two other prime players, Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. You've got Kyler Murray, who just signed a nice contract this past coming season. He goes against Patrick Mahomes, which you spoke about during this new contract. Now Patrick Mahomes has lost his Tyreek Hill. Do you see anything in terms of like maybe a regression there with Patrick Mahomes? Because I've talked to many people, and I've said even probably in the studio, that I believe that Patrick Mahomes has kind of reached his ceiling early in his career. I feel like he has. I think he's going to not plateau, but he's going to kind of streamline, as opposed to I think Justin Herbert's going to get a little better. Do you believe that Patrick Mahomes could possibly be even better, even without a Tyreek Hill, on that Chiefs team?
So, Ray, I look at this, and I think, you and I, we've talked about this, man, and I've talked to other people about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' arm talent is sensational. I think a lot of the stuff that we're seeing him do, we've seen done before, but at the same time, he's continuing to get better. He's a guy that you can put year in and year out, he's going to be productive just because of his talent. So his talent alone is going to allow him to continue to be good. Now, the great thing he's got going for him is he has an excellent head coach who's phenomenal at play calling, scheming things up, drawing plays up, scheming things up, scheming defense up. He has Andy Reid. And so Andy Reid is going to help him. Andy Reid can go get pieces and bring them in to the Kansas City Chiefs. If you look at Andy Reid with the Philadelphia Eagles, he's a guy who goes and gets pieces, and he's able to make those things happen. Look at Deshaun Jackson. You look at Avant, who they got out of Michigan. You know, he was able to make those pieces work. Terrell Owens, make those pieces work at Philly. He's the same guy that he can go and get pieces. He's going to be productive in Kansas City without Tyreek Hill. I think as far as the top blown off of the defense speed with Tyreek Hill, he's not going to have that. But when you talk about moving the chains and making throws intermediately, that's what Patrick Mahomes can do. And his arm talent, allowing things to move. He has a tight end that can still be productive in Kelsey. So those other pieces, the Juju Smith-Schusters, the guys that they got in the draft, Andy Reid is going to scheme those guys up. He's not going to allow you to see the deficiencies that much, simply because he's just going to have pieces moving all the time. So he's going to keep, as long as Andy Reid play calling keeps the defense on their heel, he has a quarterback that can make the throws. So as far as a huge regression, I think we're going to see the deep balls not be there as much as we've seen them in Kansas City the last couple of years, just because you don't have Tyreek Hill who can go and just blow the roof off the defense. So I think that's the difference in what we're seeing with all of those other quarterbacks. And once again, when we look at every other quarterback that plays in this they're playing in this National Football League, they are pass first. And a lot of people a lot of people are going to say, well, Lamar Jackson is good. Like Lamar Jackson makes passes. Yes, Lamar Jackson moved the defense with his feet, not with his arm, not with his eyes, not with his brain. He's moving them with his feet. So all of a sudden, when he can't move them with his feet because he's played 17 games, all of a sudden, now he plays into the defense's hands. And then when you look at the brains as far as the coaching, you don't really get better than Andy Reid. Andy Reid is probably one of the best. You know, Gary Kubiak was one of the best offensive minds I've seen. When you look at the other quarterbacks like the Joe Burrows, those guys of that nature, those guys they communicate. I tell people all the time, when they talk about Lamar Jackson, he has a mouthpiece in his mouth that covers his lips. What checks are he making? He's not making any checks. He can't make the checks. They're just saying our number 8 is better than your 11 guys on the defense. And more times than not, that's true. But it runs its course as you get deeper in the season and you talk about playoff play.
Bernard Pollard joining us here today. I want to stay in the AFC West, Bernard. Raiders-Chargers, a matchup going on today at 3:25. I want to ask you about the matchup, but I also want to ask you how you see this division kind of shaping up. Raiders got a lot better, bringing in Devontae Adams. The Chargers, a young and up-and-coming team. One, how do you see that matchup Raiders-Chargers going, and do you see the Chiefs kind of staying at the top of the AFC West this year?
Oh, my gosh. So this is probably – I don't think the divisional play gets better than the AFC North because I just think the AFC North is just so dominant. That's where the defense, the hits, you got good offensive play. I think the AFC West, I think you're more explosive offensively, but the defense is lax. And so when you look at this matchup, I like it. I really want to say the Raiders are going to make a jump. I want to say that they're going to be that team that comes out of AFC West, the top team that comes out of AFC West, because they have weapons. I think offensively, you're probably talking about the best offense in the AFC West. When you talk about pieces, solidified names, they're on paper, they're the best. You got a quarterback, you got receivers, you got 2 receivers and a tight end. You have a running game, offensive line. They're good enough to make things happen. When you look at this defense, I think with the Raiders, the defense is lacking just a little bit with the safety play, the cornerback play. I think the number one thing why I can't say that they are going to come out the AFC West, I hope they do, but is their quarterback. I'm not a fan of McDaniels. I think he's a guy who he's going to lose his football team just off of his antics, the way he communicates to people. This is in New England. And a lot of people think, we bring a New England head coach into our football organization, he's going to be able to make things happen. That doesn't happen all the time. They've lost more than they've won. And so when you talk about those coaches, so I like this Chargers team. I like them offensively. I think they're going to struggle. They have a lot of big names defensively. That's hard to make that work. I think that's really hard. I hope it works. I think if those guys can stay healthy, I think the Chargers, this is going to be a really good game, but I'm not a McDaniels fan. I don't like what he did earlier in the summer as far as in camp, cussing out a guy because he chose to call roll-out play in a blitz during blitz period. You don't cut the guy off of that because your quarterback rolled into the blitz. I just think, for me, I don't respect that when you talk about a head coach, the way he demeans his players. These are grown men out here. This isn't college football. And if you see it, that's how he lost the team in Denver when he was the head coach. Yeah. And, he ended up back in New England. I look at the same situation here. I think at some point he's going to lose his team, and he's going to end up back in New England.
Bernard, do you mind staying on hold with us and talk some more NFL after the break?
Man, let's get it, baby.
All right, sounds good.
I love it.
We'll send it to a break. When we come back, more NFL talk with Bernard Pollard, former NFL safety, here on Nashville Sports Radio.
At T-Line Nashville. Come check out T-Line Nashville and experience the world's fastest growing winter sport today. Curling is a fun and simple sport that's a perfect outing for friends, corporate events, families, or parties. T-Line also has classic bowling and modern bowling mini games. With over 20 HD TVs, you can come watch your favorite teams and some of the best food and drinks here in Nashville in the large bar and grill area. They also have an outdoor area with a fire pit, and you can't forget the live music. T-Line Nashville is a one-stop shop for a great night out. Located at 106 Duluth Avenue and online at tlinenash.com. You can book your party now or give them a call at 615-439-1024. That's 615-439-1024. And make sure you give them a follow on Instagram and Facebook at T-Line Nash for all the news, events, and updates. T-Line Nashville. Nashville's first curling venue is here.
Hey Nashville, Ray here. Many of us suffer from anxiety when going to the dentist. You guys need to check out my friends over at Bite Dentistry, where Dr. Lewis and her team are amazing. Bite Dentistry is where my family goes for all of our dental care. Their mission is to help patients breathe better, smile bigger, and live longer by offering a comprehensive selection of services and total dental care for every member of your family. Bite Dentistry is the only dentist in town trained and certified to offer the Vivos method that helps with people who grind their teeth at night or snore that causes sleep apnea. The Vivos technology is also provided for both kids and adults. They also work with a company called Guard Lab, which creates custom mouth guards, which are the same mouth guards used by the Tennessee Titans. Located at 3212 West End Avenue, Suite 301, Nashville, you can set up an appointment by calling them at 615-866-2129. That's 615-866-2129. And follow them on social media and online at bitedds.com. What's up, Nashville? It's Ray from Run With It. Let me tell you about my good friends over at Red Rose Hype Shop. If you're looking to upgrade your closet with the flyest streetwear and brands like Yeezys, Jordans, Supremes, and much more, go see my friends at Red Rose Hype Shop, the hottest place in Nashville where you can buy, sell, trade, and even consign your gear. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram by searching at Red Rose Hype Shop. You can also visit them at 1187 Antioch Pike, Nashville. They're open from noon to 6 Tuesday through Saturday and 12:30 to 5 on Sundays. And be sure to tell them that Ray sent you.
Founded in 1974 and serving the Nashville area and mid-state since 2015, Star Leasing Company is a one-stop shop for all semi-trailer needs. With 13 locations nationally and serving Tennessee cities and nearby areas, Star Leasing does semi-trailer leasing and rentals, purchases new and used trailers, offers maintenance and unscheduled repairs on Star Leasing and non-Star trailers, including over the road, and can take care of all your semi-trailer needs, from brakes and tires to full rebuilds. A member of the TTA, Star Leasing Company is not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Learn more at starleasing.com.
Hey, it's Patton Cook from Run With It. Let me tell you about my friends over at Smiles by Design. Dr. Dwayne Jones and his team focus on providing you with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Smiles by Design are one of the few practices that offer state-of-the-art, needle-free cavity fillings. I started going to Dr. Jones 2 years ago, and he has completely changed my smile. They are located at 105 Threet Industrial Boulevard, Unit 1001 in Smyrna. You can visit their website at drdwaynejones.com for more information, or you can call them at 615-355-1033. Again, their number is 615-355-1033, or you can search for them on social media at Smiles by Design. So be sure the next time you're looking for dentistry services, give my friends over at Smiles by Design a try. And don't forget to tell them Patton sent you. Welcome back to Nashville Sports Radio. Run with it. Before we get back to Bernard Pollard, wanted to tell you about my friends over at FanDuel Sportsbook. Kickoff Week 1 with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today and get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up using the promo code WNSR to get on the action. Then you can turn game day into payday all season long. I want to tell you about the $150 in free bets. Any team right now, you look at it, Titans -5.5 right now. Do they get started off right? I sure hope so. I'll be standing in the rain here today, so they better do me right. Play your way and bet more than just the final score. Wager on everything from touchdown to total yards and catches. You can even combine your bets and a bigger payout with the same game parlay. Don't fumble your chance to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code WNSR. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NFL. I got to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online, real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call that Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. All right, Bernard, enough. We had to pay the bills there. We are back with you now talking the NFL. Want to talk to you about that game I mentioned. Titans-Giants going on at 3:25 today. A season that, as a Titans fan of myself, I've got a lot of question marks this year coming into the season, starting at that quarterback position. What do you make of Ryan Tannehill this year?
Look, I'm a Tannehill fan. I said it when they made the trade for him that he was going to be what they needed. He was that guy. Even when Mariota was here, everybody thought Mariota was the guy. A lot of people was looking to stone me when I was talking and saying Mariota was not the answer.
Definitely wasn't me, Bernard. I just want you to know that.
Patton over here
Definitely was
he's
not
a big
me.
Mariota fan over here.
Hey, I'm just, a lot of people, they were hot, and I'm just looking like, I don't know. And once again, when I watch football, I look at it differently. So I'm looking at the movement. I'm looking at how things are just, how they're moving with the team, the play calling, what the players can and can't do. And Mariota wasn't a guy. So when they made the trade, that was the best thing that they did. Now, I will say, a lot of people expected Tannehill to come here. He cannot go win the Super Bowl by himself. He's going to need pieces. A lot of people blamed him last year. A lot of people blamed the playoff game on him. And I tell people right now, the first interception that he threw was not his fault. The receiver ran the ball. He ran a route too deep, and he did not come back to the ball, which allows the backside safety, Jesse Bates, 260 boy, to come and pick the ball off. So that's not on Ryan Tannehill. Did Ryan Tannehill play perfect? No. we have got to blame the OC, we got to blame the head coach, and we have got to blame the receivers, and we've got to blame Tannehill. I'm not a math guy, so you guys can try to figure out how to piece that and figure out the percentages on who you pay on who. No, I look at this game, and I say, with everything that has happened with the Tennessee Titans, looking at the injury to Landry, I truly believe that the Titans are going to struggle simply because you got rid of a big player, big name player, big time player, a guy that can help Ryan Tannehill in the passing game. Yes, you have Robert Woods, you have the first round draft pick, but he's going to need some pieces. I think at some point they're going to have to make a trade for a guy that can come in and kind of help them. I don't like the second and third string options, the tight end option. I think that's going to show if the tight end option is better, then that's going to be surprising. But they're playing the Giants. Saquon Barkley has got to do something. He's going to have to show up and show his work. Where they picked him at, what he's capable of doing, staying healthy and being dominant at the running back position. I think it's going to, hopefully it clears up. I don't know if it will. But I'm just looking at, we're going to see a lot of 3 and outs by both football teams. But I say, I want to say the Titans are going to come out with a win, but I'm going to give it to the Giants.
Okay. All right. Well, before I let you go here, Bernard, I got one last question to ask you. There's been all eyes on Derrick Henry coming back from a serious injury, was able to come back during the playoffs, but was not the same Derrick Henry, right? How much pressure do you think he has this upcoming season? Because you feel like you just mentioned, the pieces that were lost, Ryan Tannehill, a lot of question marks in his offensive line, especially at left guard and right tackle. How much pressure do you believe Derrick Henry has to kind of carry this team throughout this entire season?
Well, he's going to have to do some big things, Ray. And he's done that. He's done that for this organization, for this city. But when I look at it, everybody knows that the Tennessee Titans are going to have to get back to the run. They're going to be a run first football team. They're going to have to manage his load. I believe, especially where he's at in his career, he still could be dominant. I truly believe that. But I think load management is key for him, especially if he's going to be, the way that this season is going to go. They're going to need him. They're going to have to utilize their backup running backs. But as far as with Derrick Henry, he's healthy. He's big. He needs to run like it, and he's going to have to put this team on his back. But it's going to have to be with load management. I don't think he's looking at can I be who I once was? Because I don't think he's lost it. That was just a freak crazy injury. Planton, he's a big boy, and when you talk about Planton and the speed that he can get up to and everything else, that's just a crazy injury that happened. I expect him to be dominant as he was. I expect them to use him up, but they're going to have to find a passing game that can benefit and offset the running game to help them. And I think Ryan Tannehill still can do it. I like the quarterback that they drafted, Malik or whatever. I like him, but at the end of the day, it's not his time yet. Let him learn behind Ryan Tannehill because if you bring him in now, a lot of people are asking for them to bring him in now so he can be another weapon. It's not that time yet. It's not his time. You let Ryan Tannehill play. I think at the end of the season, then it's how it goes. You have to make a decision there. But I like what the running back is doing. Derrick Henry, I like what he's doing. I think he's going to be good.
Well, there you have it.
Bernard Pollard has been with us. Bernard, you are welcome anytime. You've been awesome. We really do appreciate it.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Bernard Pollard has been joining us. When we come back from our next break.
Well, before we go to our break,
yes,
I want to bring on some of my friends on.
Yes.
They're new guys, new youngsters that like to run with us every Sunday now. I'm hoping for every Sunday now to kind of talk about some NFL. They're actually in our listeners league. They were there Sunday night. Of course, you weren't there because you're auto picking.
They are more a part of the show than I am.
Devlin was there physically, but in spirit, he was kind of there and not there because he's doing like 45 drafts during the entire time we're doing our draft, and we're trying to give him food. He's like, "Leave me alone. I'm drafting."
Devlin's old business.
Yeah. Tis the season.
Yeah. Tis the season. So let me bring on my friends, Arnav and Prem Mohan, just to give you a little background on these guys. Guys, come on to the mic. Arnav, how old are you?
10.
10 years old.
Wow.
What about you, Prem?
7.
7. These two guys have their own podcast. 10 and 7-year-olds have their own podcast. Are they on, Mom and Dad, are they on YouTube as well? Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe.
YouTube to be determined, if you will.
YouTube's not ready yet.
Absolutely. big Nashville SC fans, huge Titan fans. It was a tied 1-1, yesterday. But we all know that Mukhtar is like, he's an MVP, right? Mm-hmm. So are you big Mukhtar fans? Are you Zimmerman fan? Who's your guy on the Nashville SC team?
Shaq, Moore, and Mukhtar.
Oh, okay. So he's got two. All right.
Mukhtar is great, but I like Zimmerman because I used to play.
Is Mukhtar?
I used to play center back on my.
Oh, did you really? Yeah. See, the center back was that's a hard position. You got to make sure that everything's moving both on the back line as well as the forwards to make sure they're.
It's got to be tough to play.
It's got to be tough. Absolutely. So is Mukhtar? Is he your MVP this year for MLS? Yeah, I think he's for many people this year.
Now I play striker. So.
Oh, really? I used to be a striker. Striker's a good stuff. So, what is the name of your podcast?
Soccer Smashdown.
Oh, really? How long have you been doing that?
We've been doing it for since this summer.
Is it just you and him? You and your brother?
Yeah, and then my mom edits it.
Oh, she edits.
Uh-oh.
Oh, mom got a little plug over there. I love it.
A smart kid right there. Giving props to your mom. I wanted to ask you, Nashville SC, they kind of went through a tough little stretch about a month or so ago. They're back now. How have they gotten back? What's kind of gotten them back to the place they're in now?
I think they're passing the ball a lot more, and they're creating more chances, and they're scoring a lot more goals. Mukhtar's put it in the back of the net the last, maybe 10 games. I don't know.
Now that new stadium they got right now, how sweet is that? I've been a couple times. How many have you guys enjoyed going to the new stadium? You don't have to go to Nissan Stadium anymore. You get to go to Geodis. How much have you enjoyed that?
It's really fun, and I like when they score goals because everyone goes crazy.
No doubt.
Yeah, they definitely go crazy. I'm always usually like in the what is it called, where the roadies sit. It's nuts.
I smell like smoke every time I come home from a game.
I smell like beer because they like to have these beer baths when they celebrate when they're scoring a goal. And I took my kid. I'm like, how am I going to explain this to my wife?
I know. It's hard to explain to the mom and the girlfriend. It's like, I swear, I wasn't doing anything irresponsible. I was just at a soccer game.
And tell them where people, the listeners are listening on the show or on YouTube, what have you. Where can they find your podcast? Is it on SoundCloud? Where can they find your...
You can find our podcast on Spotify.
Okay.
You can just look it up on the search tab
And what was it called, the podcast again?
Soccer Smashdown.
Soccer Smashdown on Spotify. Be sure to check out these guys, man. Our jobs are on the line here. Looks like we're going to be replaced here.
I'm afraid to tell what I was doing at 10 years old. I was not doing a podcast.
No, absolutely not.
Was a lot of misfit sort of stuff, but you guys are on a great track.
Awesome.
Awesome stuff.
Well, fantastic. By the way, who do you guys like to? You think Titans win today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
There we go.
Nice.
It's a dub against the Giants.
It's a dub? I love it. Well, thanks, guys, for coming joining and hanging out with us, man. We're going to definitely check it out.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Take it easy, guys. All right.
Young superstars in the making.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to cut to a commercial and come back, talk some more Titans talk. Yep. Week 1, we're going to circle the wagon here on Run With It here in Nashville Sports Radio. Be right back.
Hey, it's Patton Cook from Run With It. Let me tell you about my friends over at Smiles by Design. Dr. Dwayne Jones and his team focus on providing you with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Smiles by Design are one of the few practices that offer state-of-the-art, needle-free cavity fillings. I started going to Dr. Jones 2 years ago, and he has completely changed my smile. They are located at 105 Threet Industrial Boulevard, Unit 1001 in Smyrna. You can visit their website at drdwaynejones.com for more information, or you can call them at 615-355-1033. Again, their number is 615-355-1033. Or you can search for them on social media at Smiles by Design. So be sure the next time you're looking for dentistry services, give my friends over at Smiles by Design a try. And don't forget to tell them Patton sent you.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers. Clean Cut Flooring is on the air reminding all Americans to stand tall and show support to the brave and honorable men and women of our U.S. military. Visit USO.org to see how you can send a military care package today. This proud salute is brought to you by Clean Cut Flooring. For all your flooring needs, don't call the rest, call the best at 615-900-6305. That's 615-900-6305. Clean Cut Flooring, saluting our troops and veterans. They're professionals who care.
What's up, Nashville? It's Ray from Run With It. Let me tell you about my good friends over at Red Rose Hype Shop. If you're looking to upgrade your closet with the flyest streetwear and brands like Yeezys, Jordans, Supremes, and much more, go see my friends at Red Rose Hype Shop, the hottest place in Nashville where you can buy, sell, trade, and even consign your gear. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram by searching at Red Rose Hype Shop. You can also visit them at 1187 Antioch Pike, Nashville. They're open from noon to 6 Tuesday through Saturday and 12:30 to 5 on Sundays. And be sure to tell them that Ray sent you. Hey Nashville, Ray here. Many of us suffer from anxiety when going to the dentist. You guys need to check out my friends over at Bite Dentistry, where Dr. Lewis and her team are amazing. Bite Dentistry is where my family goes for all of our dental care. Their mission is to help patients breathe better, smile bigger, and live longer by offering a comprehensive selection of services and total dental care for every member of your family. Bite Dentistry is the only dentist in town trained and certified to offer the Vivos method that helps with people who grind their teeth at night or snore that causes sleep apnea. The Vivos technology is also provided for both kids and adults. They also work with a company called Guard Lab, which creates custom mouth guards, which are the same mouth guards used by the Tennessee Titans. Located at 3212 West End Avenue, Suite 301, Nashville, you can set up an appointment by calling them at 615-866-2129. That's 615-866-2129. And follow them on social media and online at bitedds.com.
What happens to your decision-making when you drink? Well, after one drink, you feel confident. A few more, and calling your ex at 1 a.m. seems like a great idea. And you're pretty sure the secret to a great taco is 4-day-old macaroni. The bottom line, drunk you doesn't make great decisions. So you're risking a DUI or worse if you count on him to get you home. Plan before you party. Get home safe. Paid for by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back to Nashville Sports Radio. Run with it. Having some issues with our bumper music, but Ray, we're pros.
We're definitely pros. We try to be.
We don't need bumper music. All we need is NFL Sunday, which is back today. Giants Titans 5.5 is that line right now, Ray. And I keep looking at the forecast. I'll be going to the game a little later. The rain is pushing off. I'm going to knock on wood every time I say that for now, but it looks like it's going to be a beautiful game against the Giants. What are your thoughts? Because, I mean, we heard Bernard. He's picking the Giants in the game, and I'm not so sure I'm going to go that far, but that line below a touchdown, there's some reason why it's below a touchdown, and it's fishing me right now. I'm a little worried.
You know, this is what I have come accustomed to with the Titans over the last few years. They beat the teams they're not supposed to beat, and they lose to the teams they're not supposed to lose to.
Well,
let's be real here. They lost to the Jets last year, but who did they beat? They convincingly beat the Chiefs last year. They destroyed and smacked the Bills. Almost, did they lose to the Texans? Yes, they lost to the Texans.
Yep.
That's right. So now you bring in this. There's a lot of question marks with this Brian Daboll Giants offense. I don't think that, there's a lot of pieces to replace. I think there's a lot of things he needs to fix. I don't think he can fix all of them in one season. I think he's done a good job so far. Saquon will be pretty much like Derrick Henry. All eyes will be on him because I feel like if you look at both teams are going to be a run-first team. Both players come back from injuries. A lot of question marks on how this is going to be. I think that whoever establishes the run first in this game is successful. By all means, I think it's going to be the dictation of the game. I'm hoping for rain because when it's raining, what happens? It just kind of favors into a more running style offense.
Yeah, and we've talked about the question marks for the Titans. I think the entirety of the offensive line is a question mark. Nate Davis didn't play at all in the preseason. He was banged up the entirety of the way. Taylor Lewan, he usually starts slow to start a season. Granted, he's not coming off injury for the first time in a while, so that's something to look at. But that center, left guard, and right tackle is all question marks. Ben Jones is getting up in there in age. Hasn't been the most dominant player the past couple of years, but right tackle and left guard specifically, whole new guys. You're going to have a rookie starting at right tackle. Nicolas Petit-Ferrer is over there. And then left guard is Aaron Brewer,
yeah.
which he's kind of been a nice depth piece for the Titans, but he's never been the guy coming into camp, and that's what he's going to be week one.
But and it goes back to, like, we just saw what happened Thursday night. We don't play your starters, what happens? The Rams came out, like, are you more surprised of how big the Bills how good the Bills looked, or how bad the Rams looked? Matthew Stafford's elbow does not. And I'm tired with the whole like no look plays. Like everyone took that from out of like Patrick Mahomes' playbook. Like let them go take out a page out of his his style play and
threw a pick because of
threw the pick because of that. And you just could tell like the elbow was not right. Cam Akers was non-existent. It just seems like the team was off. And if you talk to any NFL player that is a veteran that's solidified in their position, they'll tell you like they don't get into game shape probably about a month into the season because they don't play in the preseason. Like I was surprised to see Tom Brady play in the preseason, but there's all like there's notes coming out of that Buccaneers camp that like now coming into week one, he has looked fantastic. Ever since he took the 11 days off, came in, did not have a ball drop, and now
there's been no reason for. By the way,
and there's question marks like there's rumors out there. There's always rumors that he's going to retire this year. We don't know. We've been hearing that for the last 7 years. He's going to retire, but he was able to come back in. And I'm surprised. I'm not surprised he came back to the league this year. He left on such a high note, arguably probably an MVP. He wouldn't go to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But then you look in terms of what this team is able to do, it just seems like the preseason game would definitely help. What happened last year? Titans, Arizona, first game. Derrick Henry had 50-something yards. The line gave up 6 sacks. I think 3 of them went to
Taylor Lewan.
No, yeah, 3 of them went to him. And it just seems like it would have been nice to kind of just play a series or two, kind of get your feet wet, just to see what happens, kind of like take a couple hits here and there, go into week one. Yes, it is the Giants. Should the Titans win? Yes. They're at home. They have the advantage. I feel like they're the better team. I trust more Mike Vrabel than I do what Brian Daboll is able to do with the Giants team right now.
I think both teams kind of have a similar spot where there's a lot of new pieces. The Giants are a team they're on the up and up. They have the biggest question mark, I think, on that field, and it's quarterback. I think the elephant in the room is how long are they going to keep Daniel Jones? If he doesn't have a good year, he's gone, right? He's not going to be the quarterback.
They're not looking in the preseason at all.
Not at all. And there's a reason, I think, why they're not in any big rush to get rid of Daniel Jones. They like the quarterback class coming out to end the draft next year. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, guys like that are coming out. So I think the Giants, they've made a clear move to why they're doing what they're doing. I think Saquon's going to have a pretty good day today. I did not like the run defense for the Titans this preseason. I thought it was a little open in there. Harold Landry, of course, tearing his ACL. That's going to be an impact, even on the run game. He's a really good run stopper on the outside, sets the edge really well, and that's kind of forgotten kind of art in the NFL. It's all about pass rush. It's all about getting around the tackle and sacking the quarterback. If you can't stop the run, there's no need to throw.
So let me ask you this. You have 2 premier backs on either team. Who has the bigger impact today? Is it Derrick Henry or is it Saquon Barkley?
I think it's going to be Saquon.
Really?
I do. I think it's going to be the same sort of problems at the line for the Titans as they did week 1 last year. I think there's a lot of question marks. I don't think the rookie right tackle is going to do great. This is all dependent on, right now, Kayvon Thibodeau, the Giants.
He's not playing today.
Yeah, question marks whether or not he'll play.
That's why I thought you'd give the edge to Derrick Henry because he's not playing today.
I like Saquon. I think he's going to have a good day today. All the talk is how good he's looked in training camp, coming off an injury, a full year of kind of just being healthy. That's what he needs. I think Saquon's going to have a great day today.
I'm going the other side on the coin here. I'm taking Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry is going to show up. I think that he has a lot to prove. I think that I even believe that he's going to get a full workload. I thought that maybe Haskins might come in there, maybe take a few carries from what have you from him. But still, there's so many question marks around that wide receiver corps, Robert Woods, with Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's nothing set in stone right there. I think that honestly another player that's probably flying under the radar right now is Austin Hooper. We all know in this offense when it's Ryan Tannehill, when he has a solidified tight end, he is his best friend. We saw that with Jonnu Smith. Last year, first year couldn't really fill that void when Jonathan Smith signed with the Patriots last year. And it seemed like, of course, he had A.J. Brown and Julio Jones and Derrick Henry. But how many of those games did he have Julio Jones? Yeah. You know, I think he missed, 10 games? A.J. Brown was a couple games out because of his bad knees, what have you. But I think that Austin Hooper is going to be the X factor in today's game. And I feel like Derrick Henry is going to feed off of that. So I feel like Derrick Henry and that combination of Derrick and Austin Hooper is going to give the Titans a close win today. I'm thinking it's a 21-17 game today.
All right, my final pick for the Titans. I think they're going to cover. I think they're going to cover the 5.5. I got them by 6 today, beating the Giants. I don't think it's going to be easy, though. I think the defense is probably going to be on the better end of it for the Titans, and that's why I see them getting things going that way. So, Ray, we've got a
guest in town.
We got friend of show on
another person who runs with
quite
us
literally
every
a friend
Sunday.
of show.
Yeah, absolutely runs with us every Sunday. It's my dentist, Dr. Lewis from Bite Dentistry. Dr. Lewis, how are you?
I'm great. How are y'all?
I am fantastic. I'm coming to see you in a couple of weeks.
Well, good.
Yeah, I can't wait. I got to go get a little cleanup and stuff like that.
You better, Ray.
Not only is Dr. Lewis my dentist, but she's also a huge Titans fan.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you, Dr. Lewis. You heard our conversation right now. We kind of give our analysis of today's game. What are you feeling? You're actually going to the game with your husband as well, right?
Yes. We're headed to the game.
What are you feeling today? As a fan, are you worried? Are you excited? Because my man Patton over here has been nervous the entire offseason because he's like, I don't have any clue where the Titans team is going to go.
I'd say I'm worried. Always am, because like y'all were saying, usually kind of a slow start at the beginning of the season.
Right.
But I'm a fan,
yes.
so I gotta believe.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying Titans.
You're ride or die. I love it.
Yes.
And you know who's another ride or die is Devin back there. He's got that brown shirt back there.
I mean, you got to be ride or die to be a Browns
if
fan.
anyone who's not in the discussions of any controversy this since offseason has not been.
No,
the
Browns have been out of the news also.
And I'm loving the fact that he's rocking that because people make fun of me because I'm a Washington fill in the blank name team, whatever you want to call them.
Whatever you
You
want.
know, like I just fill in the blank. You know, it's just like, okay, fine. I'm watching whatever. But I take the good with the bad. So I understand, Devin's misery over there.
Look, I mean, I'm an Ohio guy through and through. I take pride in the fact
this is true.
that, I'm a Buckeye fan, I'm a Browns fan. I love the entire state of Ohio. Look, the Browns are my favorite team. But my least favorite team in the NFL, by far, is the Browns. So you don't hear me talking about them too often.
That makes perfect sense.
That is awesome.
So I don't like to sit here and talk about them too often because I don't like what's going on in the offseason. It's really hard to just open up and really talk about it. But at the end of the day, I'm there to support him, so I'm hoping for a Week 1 win.
There you go. You heard from them.
Yeah, you got to wait at least till Deshaun gets back before you start talking about the Browns. Because, who knows what that situation is going to be like. But one more thing on the Titans. Week 1 has traditionally been a tough week for us. Are you at all – I've just got that pit in my stomach that something's going to go wrong today. Do you have that pit in your stomach, or am I just crazy?
The sun is shining, by the way. The sun is shining.
I don't have that pit in my stomach. I have.
Yes.
I'm like you. I want to see the offensive line show us something different.
Yes.
But I don't have a pit in my stomach.
All right.
It may change when I get there, but
I'm going to grab your energy and bring it on to me.
Right now I'm thinking.
How about husband over there? His husband, is he nervous? Are you kind of like not? He says not at all.
I want that energy.
Not at all.
I want that energy.
So Titan fans out there, get prompt.
Yes.
Because the Titan fans here in the studio, yes, I guess you consider me as a Titans fan. They're more or less my AFC team. Fine, I will adopt them. I've been trying to adopt them for 2 years, what have you. Yes, I'll adopt them. I think, like I said,
we'll let you in. Right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, just tell me what the cost is to kind of like enter in. But yeah, I'm going with the Titans. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a 21-17 game. I think that Ryan Tannehill is gonna, like I said, Austin Hooper. And I think Derrick Henry is gonna kind of close the ship and get that W today. But I think you're going Giants. Is that
no? I'm not going Giants. I just think Saquon's going to have a better day than Derek. Personally, I like the Titans to cover. But then again,
what's the score? Throw me the score you got.
Right now, the over/under is 44, so it's not a big number for the Titans.
The under all day.
I like them 20-10.
Okay. What about you, Devlin?
I'm fading Nashville.
You're fading Nashville too,
I'm
huh?
taking the Giants.
Devlin,
I'm taking the Giants to win.
out.
So you're with Bernard today. That's who you're with.
Yep.
He's rolling with Bernard today. He's fading the Giants. He's fading the Titans today. Well, see, I mean, that's how it is. We just Week 1.
To think I was rooting for the Buckeyes yesterday.
I know. It's a shame. I know.
How about you, Dr. Lewis? What do you got today? What's the score? Do you have a score in mind that you think?
I don't have a score.
You don't have a score? You just think it's a Titans a W.
Just Titans got a W.
Just get out of there with a win.
Titans got to win. And I'll tell you, if they do win, I will wear this same outfit the next game. So
Love
I
it.
am that kind of superstitious.
Oh, so you're superstitious like that?
Yes.
Don't wash it? Okay.
Yeah.
I had a brother-in-law, like my cousin. He's a big Gator fan. Yes, he's a Gator fan. And he has 2 shirts, and he'll change it during halftime. He'll wear his blue jersey during the first half. He'll wear his orange jersey in the second half. And he said whenever he wears a blue jersey, they're always losing, and then the second half he wears his orange jersey, and they end up coming back and winning. I'm like, no, that's just Florida football.
Yeah.
That's just how they do it. But before we let you go, Dr. Lewis, tell me what's going on with Bite Dentistry.
You know, we're just trucking along. You know, it's football time in Tennessee, so have your kids think about sports guards. We make the custom sports guards help concussions and help people breathe better. That's my passion, is helping people with their airway health and get a good night's sleep. So
yeah, my kids actually use this thing that's called Vivos, and it's kind of like a mouth guard they sleep at night with, and it's been a lifesaver. We've been finding out for years to see how we can fix like these kids with the kids. Cause every morning they wake up and they're just still tired. We're like, why is it not going on? It's because they're not getting the oxygen. And we went to like doctors. They couldn't assess it. Whatever. My wife talked to Dr. Lewis, and she was able to assess it. And then since then, now they're breathing better. They're sleeping better. They come up. They're energetic. Huge save. Check out the views. I mean, it's a
Dr.
great.
Lewis, how did you kind of get into that? You mentioned that's your passion. Is there something that kind of happened along the way for you that kind of made it your passion, or just kind of naturally?
As far as their way?
Yes.
Well, part of it is my husband has been on CPAP for 20 years, and of course he said if I could get him off of that, then I am a hero.
There we go.
That was part of it, but once I started learning more about it, so many people suffer from this, and I think there are tons, knowing what I know, there's tons of NFL players that have got to suffer from sleep apnea and stuff, and if you can get people breathing better and sleeping better, your whole life is better.
Yes.
So it's just become so passionate. I strongly believe that airway is the key to health.
Yeah.
So any way we can do to help people do that, then that's my job.
Absolutely.
They definitely do that. Where can they find you? Where do the listeners find you, Dr. Lewis?
We're on West End Avenue, 3212 West End Avenue.
Awesome.
There it is, Bite Dentistry. Well, thank you so much for coming back. Hey,
Thank y'all for having me.
have fun at the
anytime.
game today.
Thanks.
Get that. Me and you are riding the W and with Patton, and then we've got Devin over there who's riding with Bernard today with the Giants. So we'll see what happens.
You do know what happens if the Titans do win. You talked about superstitions. You might have to come back with us.
That's
next
okay.
week.
I will come back every week.
That's a good point. That's
There
a
we
good
go.
point. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Really
Thank
appreciate
y'all.
it, Doctor. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Nashville Sports Radio is who we are. Run with it. It has been a great hour once again.
Football's back, baby!
A lot went down. A lot of football to discuss. Everybody listening, enjoy your day of football. We will sure do so as well. We'll see you next week talking the same sort of stuff, NFL and more. Nashville Sports Radio. Run with it. Ray Dosky. See Patton Cook and Devlin McKenzie.
See you next week, guys.